This is called The Pleasure of. The pleasure of daydream, both the fictions and realities of our last encounters. The pleasure of our few free days unencumbered by commerce or family. The pleasure of new leather boots, the scent rich and hopeful, and the wishful thinking that no blister will form. The pleasure of the new dress seemingly made for my skin, my bone. The pleasure of checking in, the swell and the swoon of first your voice, then the muscle, then for me, the pleasure of the idea of you, of watching other women flirt with you, knowing my bed is warm. The pleasure of checking you out and running my hand across the warmth of your chest, tracing down your leg, my breath and tongue whispering in your ear, of sleeping and our animal smells. The pleasure of a manicure, pedicure, the hot stones and scrub, the lotion rub, the wash away of mud, and nails the color of ox blood. The pleasure of digging into your back at your precise moment, securing your body against mine, bathed in our sweat. The pleasure of an exquisite cup of thick coffee, the steam wafting upward and beckoning, a crisp breeze through a mesh blouse. The pleasure of danger skirted. The pleasure of masked men shamed, of going down in a takedown fight, and the doom of being on the right side of history. The pleasure of justice, just this once. The pleasure of community standing up and in front. The pleasure of the taste of that apple long ago, of a delicacy rare and imported, of the taste of you in my throat and the trickle on my thigh, and the absolute pleasure of our naked waiting for more. And the pleasure of warm wax on my skin, the pleasure of the smooth surface left behind, the washing away of every trace of you, of me, the words of our legacy, the pleasure of all that impatience, of all those kisses, the pleasure of still more to do, the pleasure of the ache, of the wanting, of a sturdy hand on the back of my neck, of the pull into me, the pleasure of the scent of this man, the pleasure of the sated, the pleasure of the square, of the block, the messy pleasure of the triangle, the pleasure of deletion, the pleasure of the silence, of all the angles, the pleasure of this circling, neither bitter nor sweet.